believes I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Good morning, insomniacs. Maybe for you, you haven't even been to sleep yet. Like myself, I did a podcast a little after midnight last night, or this morning, I should say, because I could not sleep. And now, unfortunately, it is, around 9:13 in the morning, and I'm tired. Yet I have a lot of things I need to achieve today. But I just talked yesterday. Nora, excuse me, I'm trying to do a podcast. Could you not interrupt? Thanks. Ugh. But I talked about this on my podcast this morning. Nora, quiet. I talked about it on my podcast this morning about the fact that prioritizing is important. I need to not have a gigantic list of things to do and then add more to it just because I didn't get something done yesterday. And if I want to do that, then I need to take something off of the list I have today. It doesn't mean I need to pile more on so that I have more stress. It means I need to take something off of the list. I need to discipline my dog. And I'm having a hard time with that. But at the same time, I'm also having an insanely hard time climbing out of bed. I'm doing a podcast from my bed because now I'm tired. And like I said, I have all these things to do, but I'm exhausted. So I'm like, okay, do I prioritize my sleep and my sanity and my brain cells do I prioritize those over the fact that I need to give my dogs a bath and clean my house and go grocery shopping and that stuff? And I mean, the answer should be a solid yes. I should 100% prioritize my mental health and my brain cells over grocery shopping and shampooing my carpet and such. But again, as discussed, when I have a list of things to do and I don't get to cross off those things, I'm like Sheldon. There's an episode of Big Bang Theory where Amy tries to basically help Sheldon cope with his obsessive compulsive behavior. And the fact that, he has to finish something. And she does these series of things in where Sheldon is not able to finish like a tic-tac-toe or finish a sentence or whatever. She does all these things. And of course, because I'm tired, I can't think of examples right now because this is what happens when you don't sleep. Your brain cells just deplete and pretty soon you're all Biden out and you can't form sentences. But I found it fascinating because then afterwards, it shows him, after she leaves, it shows him going through and finishing everything. Like he puts the tic-tac-toe game that they're playing back on a dry erase board and puts, each move that was already on there and then finishes it and just goes through and reenacts basically everything and yet finishes it this time so that he doesn't have it, so that it's finished and he doesn't have it just sitting there out in the air, not being able to be closed. My dog is doing something strange. Hey, excuse you, leave it. No, sir. So point being, it's very difficult when you are obsessive compulsive and you have a list of things that you need to do and you can't cross it out. It just will drive you bananas. And I'm kind of going in circles today because I am tired and I don't have the energy to do the things that I need to do. But yet it's also, I know me, I know myself, and I know that I'm not going to cross off something. And instead I'm going to add it. And because I'm tired and I haven't started yet and it's already, after 9 in the morning, now I'm not going to get done until very late at night. And then I'm going to be up late. And then, hey, excuse you. God, it's like the Wild West out here with my dogs. They're having a showdown. Like, First it was my cats this morning, just totally like having gang warfare, and now my dogs are like, they're having trouble keeping the peace. And I think the whole world is just having trouble keeping the peace, not just humans. It's not just humans that aren't getting along. It's not just humans that are arguing and bickering. It's apparently all the animals in the world as well. I mean, currently outside, the birds are going bananas. I don't know if they're yelling and arguing and bickering at each other. I don't know if they're fighting with each other or if they're just, at work having a lot to say. But anyway, I need to get my shit together. I either need to get up, get off my butt, and start doing the things I need to do so that I can maybe get to bed at a decent hour and I can relax. Or I just need to kind of really prioritize, like I talked about, prioritizing. It's important. And figure out what I need to do versus what I want to do. What I have to achieve versus what I just want to achieve. The whole want versus need. I talked about that as well. So I'm just kind of sitting here in circles, and I go in spurts. I'll get up for a bit. I do that too. I'll get up for a bit and I'll do a couple of things, and then I'll feel like I have earned the right to sit back down and do nothing. And then I'll do nothing for a while. I'll, play Sudoku or something for a bit. Or scroll on Clapper or something for a bit, and then I'll get back up because I'll feel lazy, and I'll feel guilty that I'm not doing anything, and then I feel like I'm being lazy, even though it's my days off, even though I have a full-time job, even though I'm always doing stuff, even after work, even before work, whatever, and I rarely sit down. I still feel like it's a waste of day, or I'm being lazy if I relax at all. That's the other thing we need to all learn, that we have to relax sometimes. We have to give our body a break. I mean, it's a machine. Even machines need to be turned off once in a while. Even machines need to reboot. So I do need to turn myself off, especially because, like I said, last night I went to bed around 1 something. And then I woke up at 4:19, just eyes wide open. So I got like 3 hours of sleep, which is just not enough. I don't know how I'm functioning at this point. I don't know how I'm not just a big drooling pile of goo. I mean, I kind of am. I'm close to it. Most of the things I say, I feel like I talk with my mouth half open and my eyes half closed. And I mean, I was wandering around in my robe and fuzzy slippers in the middle of the night talking into my phone last night. Because when I do my podcast, it's on my phone. So, I mean, God, I already look like a crazy person. So, no. Leave it. That's not okay. You have toys. What is wrong with everyone? Are we all losing our dang minds? I swear to God, this is like the Truman Show. I think that the government is just fucking with all of us. And pretty soon, this big curtain, we're all going to figure it out and be like, hey, there's like a tear in this. What is this? And then we figure out that it's just props and scenery because we're part of some weird, twisted, psychological reality show. We're part of some freaking experiment, and this has all just been a lie. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Right now, I don't think there is a single thing on the planet that would surprise me. I don't think there's a single thing on another planet that would surprise me. This planet, any planet in the universe. I mean, I feel like now I'd be like, okay, whatever. I mean, if all of a sudden there's a 20-foot person that is half human, half, I don't know, serpent, and hey, excuse you, comes down and, starts talking to us, I just wouldn't be surprised. That wasn't a good excuse. Again, I'm tired, so I couldn't think of anything. But point being, there really, honestly, I don't think at this point there's nothing. If the skies just opened up and Jesus himself came down and was like, all right, I'm sick of this. It's about time I made an appearance. You all are fucking things up. This is not what I had in mind. You are not at all doing what I had in mind. And if you would just do what I asked, if you would follow by the rules and regulations I had in place in this book here, maybe y'all wouldn't be wandering around lost, pissed, angry, depressed, and coveting each other. You're not supposed to covet, right? I'm not even religious, but honestly, Nora, just see, again, even the animals just talking back, have a lot to say. None of the animals will stop fighting. They won't shut up. It's just been a lot of smack talk from humans and animals. It seems that nature has a lot to say too. When there's earthquakes, when there's tsunamis, when there are tornadoes, blizzards, it's like our planet is also trying to like keep us in check. Remind us that we're not as great and powerful as we think we are. We're not the center of the universe. There are definitely things that are bigger than us, whether you're religious or not. I mean, Mother Nature is bigger than us. The mountains, this earth is capable of great things like tsunamis and earthquakes and hurricanes and tornadoes. Mother Nature is always going to win. It's greater than us. So we need to kind of be knocked down a peg. I feel like there's a lot of narcissism going on. It always cracks me up when there was this comment the other day on Clapper, and it was basically like, I wish you guys would all just leave transgender people alone. Just leave transgender people alone. Mind your own business. Well, I would fucking love that. I would love that. I don't think that anyone is going out seeking transgender people and making them have parades and making them make their own flag and making them have a day of the month or a whole entire month dedicated to them. Or I don't think that there should be, if there's a Black national anthem and a Black History Month, and if there are the BET Awards, or if someone says the first female this, the first gay that, I'm pretty sure that's not us going out seeking the attention of Black people, gay people, transgender people. I think that is you going out and wanting the attention. If you're having big old parades for yourself, that's kind of the epitome of wanting attention, of needing and craving attention, of going out, making everybody look at you. When you dress as a woman and you're a man, that is pretty much the epitome of wanting attention, seeking attention, and wanting people to look at you. When you are a man or a woman that is trying to get into a sport that is of the opposite gender that you are biologically attached to, that is you going out seeking attention. When you want a flag that is just for your sexual orientation, and again, a month dedicated to you, or the fact that you want to put something like the first woman, the first Black person, the first transgender person, the first gay person, when you attach labels to things, that is you seeking credit and attention for something. That is you separating things. That is you segregating things. That is you continuing to put a barrier between people. That is you wanting inequality. That is not equality, that's inequality. And I have been saying for about 1 trillion years now, I have been saying for years and years and years, I am so sick to death of people that have a Black and a white parent, that have both, that all of a sudden say they identify that they're Black. No, you're not. You are not Black and you are not white. You are both. Be proud of that. And if you're not, you are slapping and spitting on the parent that you are not identifying as. If you say that you are Black, now you're slapping your white parent in the face. If you say that you are white, you are slapping your Black parent in the face. Or if you're half white, half Mexican, half white, half, Native American, Or if you're Native American and Black, if you're Hispanic and Black, but you only consider yourself one of those races, that is spitting in the face of your other parent. And it's being untrue. You're not being truthful. You're lying. And I have a real problem with that. I have a real problem with Obama and Halle Berry and people that are half Black saying, that they're Black. That's ridiculous. Why are you not relating to your white or Hispanic or your other race? I don't get that. And how does your parent feel about that? Have you talked to them? Have you asked if that hurts their feelings? I've been saying this for a million years now. It boggles my mind. So continuing to have, and Morgan Freeman has said this for a long time, when you have things like Black History Month, all you are doing is contributing to racism. When you have things like a flag just for transgender people or gay people, you are continuing to have prejudice. You're continuing to divide. You are not being equal. And what drives me also just bat crap crazy, just nutty, is those that claim they want equality. Equality, equality, equality. Yet, if you are a woman and you want to try out for, say, the Navy SEALs, and you're like, because equality, equality, but then you get there and you want to have things altered for you, meaning maybe you want more time. Maybe you want one of the exercises to be changed in some way to fit the fact that you're a woman. Well, now you're not wanting things to be equal. Say you're a fireman and you want to be lifting things that aren't as heavy as the male firemen have to lift. Well, again, now you're not wanting equality. Now you're wanting things to be different and adjusted to fit the fact that you are a female, which means you don't want equality. And that's fine, because I personally don't want equality, because I don't think that we are equal. I think that we are different. I think that, well, I guess we're equal in the sense that men and women have different strengths, different things that we're good at. So I guess it kind of balances out when you think of the things that men are good at, the things that women are good at, the things that men suck at, the things that women suck at. I guess it kind of maybe balances out, but I don't think that we're necessarily, but we're not the same. And thank God for that. What are you having a cow about, Nora? Even my animals are desperate for attention. They must be freaking liberals. They just can't handle someone else talking. They're like, but I need the limelight. I need the attention. I can't handle someone else talking. Yeah, so this whole I want equality. Well, okay. If you are a woman and you are now identifying as a man, does that mean you're paying higher taxes? Does that mean you're paying higher insurance, car insurance, higher health insurance? Does that mean that if you get a divorce, you're going to start paying alimony and child support? Does that mean that you're going to start working, your ass off and getting treated like crap by women? Again, I've talked about this before. I don't get the whole, I want to identify as a man, but I don't want to go to war. I don't want to get drafted. I don't want to pay higher insurance. I don't want to pay higher taxes. I don't want to pay alimony or child support. I don't want. Okay, so you don't want to be a man. You just want to say you want to be a man because you want attention? Because you didn't get enough attention when you're a kid? Let's focus on that. Let's focus on your need to feel like you need to change your identity. Why do you want to change your identity? Let's delve into that. I think we need to get into our background and why we are wanting to change. Change is great. If you are doing something that is terrible for your health and can kill you, you should probably make a change. If you are doing something that could hurt somebody else, that could kill or hurt somebody else, you should probably make a change. If you're doing something like not paying your bills and it's going to harm you, you should probably make a change. But if you just simply want to identify as something else for the hell of it, ask yourself, well, why am I? You can't just say, if your answer is, well, I just have always felt like a man. Well, what does that mean? What does feeling like a man? How do you know what it feels like to be a man when you aren't one? I can't say I just feel like I'm Jewish or I just feel like I'm Hispanic. I don't know. What does that mean? I'm not Hispanic. I'm not Jewish. I don't know what it means to be those things. I can know what other people tell me it means. I can know what other people experience. I can know what other Jewish people experience. I can know what other Latinos experience. But every Latino and Jewish person are going to experience life in a different way. Not every Black person is going to experience life in the same way. Not every white person or male or female or Catholic or atheist is going to experience life in the same way. Not every single, we all experience things differently. So what does it mean when you say you identify as a man? What does that mean? Again, you don't get to just use the whole generic, well, I just have always, even when I was a kid, I just wanted to pee outside. That does not make you a man. It makes you back in the day when we were cavemen and we used to actually do that because we didn't have bathrooms. Just like dogs have evolved from like wolves and stuff, we've evolved, but we used to pee outside. So we have a lot of instincts. We have a lot of crap in our blood that makes us kind of go back to that barbaric time. Just like sometimes we want to eat with our hands. Sometimes we want to just eat with our hands and drink out of a big cup. That doesn't make us like a giant or a bear or a raccoon by eating with our hands. It just means that we're primal. Goes back to our primal instincts. When we want to have rough sex or whatever, if you ever feel like having that out of the blue, again, it's a primal rough instinct thing. It doesn't all of a sudden mean that, you're a fucking lion that just, jumps on its prey from the back and pins it down. It just means you're suddenly frisky and feeling like a little extra something something because it's primal. I just feel like ever since I was a kid, I used to like wear cowboy boots, and they are called cowboy boots. So I just feel like I identify as a boy. Or cowboy boots are just comfortable and cool, and they serve a purpose, and they are for putting your boot in a stirrup or for working in a barn, and they're just a practical thing. Maybe you saw other people wearing them. Maybe you just like them. It's just weird to me that we go back to this. I mean, I wanted to be many things when I was a kid. I used to pretend that I was a Navy SEAL, believe it or not. And I used to pretend that I was a teacher. I used to make lemonade. I used to sell Ritz crackers and cheese and pretend that I had a restaurant and then I was a little entrepreneur. I mean, I kind of was. I made money doing it. But just because you used to do things as a child doesn't mean that now as an adult those things suddenly are valid. It's just part of growing up. I don't know. This has all just gotten so crazy and out of hand. I am genuinely, speaking of crazy and out of hand, I am scared shitless that Michelle Obama, frickin' Michelle Obama, is going to be sitting pretty on her high horse, on her pedestal, in the White House. As somebody that is now in charge and the leader of our country. I feel that is going to happen. I feel it in my bones. And it just pisses me off to no end that the Democrats have made it, that she can tootle on in, saunter in, cut in line. She just gets to cut in line. She didn't put in any of the work and she just gets to cut in line. I don't think that Trump can stand a chance next to Michelle. She's black and she's a woman. And right now, the only reason anybody wants Trump apparently is because they don't want, Biden's incoherent. They know that he's got dementia now. I think people are finally admitting it. I think even the far left is finally starting to see it. And so they just want Biden because they don't want Trump. They're so adamant about not having Trump that they'd rather have a dementia patient running the country. And that's why then when Michelle comes along, because she's going to, everybody's going to be all over the fact that she's a woman. First woman, first woman, first woman. Although people have been saying she's a man. So is it the first woman? I don't know. Does she have an Adam's apple? Does she have an Adam's apple? I haven't looked. Get a zoom in on her neck one day. But this is just freaking me out. It should freak everybody out because the Bidens are all, up each other's ass with the Obamas. They butt fuck each other. They have, gang sex, gang orgies, and listen to me, I sound like you can tell don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but, they're just all doing each other, and it's just not a good combo. And who the fuck would she have for vice president? Probably her fucking husband. Who knows? Wouldn't that be a shit show? Both the Obamas. Oh my God. Oh, I just can feel it in my stomach, and it makes me quite literally sick. This country cannot have Obama. Barack was enough. That was a lot. That's too much. We already had him. We don't need him, her. Shim. We don't need Shimshell Obama. Ugh, I really do think that we're fucked if she runs, and I think that she's running. So we shall see. I hope to God I am wrong. I want to be wrong more than anything in the world. I do. God, I do. Ugh, that's keeping me up a lot. Not gonna lie. What else is keeping me up? My neighbors have decided that they're hillbillies and they have been shooting their guns anywhere from 11 o'clock and at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Not really sure what that's about. Not sure what's happening at 11 o'clock and like 5:30 in the morning, but okay. It's like getting woken up with, by revelry. I can't say that. Is that how it goes? Isn't that a great impression? You like that? Yeah, that was good. That was supposed to be, the little bugle when you're in the military and you're in boot camp and you get woken up. That's what that's supposed to be. But I don't know if that's what the shotguns are for. I don't know why at 11 o'clock. Not sure why at 5:45. That'd be a weird time to wake people up. But it's strange. But I find it funny because if you hear shotguns, like context has a lot to do with things, right? When things are taken out of context, it's bad. And they do that to Trump all the time. They just constantly take what he says out of context. But a gun when you live in the country, most people hear a gun, and when they hear it in the country, they don't even bat an eye. They're just like, oh, he's shooting at a coyote, or oh, he's getting an elk, or oh, he's target shooting, whatever. But if you hear one in the city, you're immediately like, oh, fuck, duck and cover, hide. And, it's a whole different meaning and a whole different kind of gun, obviously. I love the country rules, country law. It's like we have our own rules out here. And snitches get stitches. We have our own rules. We mind our own business, and that's how it should be. Again, unless we're hurting each other, unless, there's something like, unless we're hurting each other, then mind your own business. I like the whole snitches get stitches because you don't need to be the hall monitor. You don't need to be going around with your little badge monitoring everybody. Monitor yourself. I've noticed there's a lot of projecting going on. I saw a Clapper video where this white dude was interviewing these African American people and basically asking if they feel that there's a lot of prejudice. And one of the girls was like, well, yeah, like I feel like people just think that white people are better than black people. There's a lot of people that think that white people are just better. And I'm like, are you projecting? Do you think white people are better? I think she does. She thinks white people are better. And how sad is that? How sad is that? Projecting that onto others. The whole projecting thing is driving me crazy. I think a lot of people are doing that right now. I think people are going around accusing people of stuff like a witch hunt, pointing their finger and just making accusations. And then it's actually secretly their deepest fears. It's their own insecurities, and they're just projecting onto others. I just can't for the life of me. And again, everyone has been saying this. So many people have made videos about this on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and Clapper about insecurities and how people are projecting their insecurities onto others. But when you say things like, because white people just feel they're better than everybody. No, you must think that white people are better than everybody, because I don't know a scenario where white people go around acting that way. I think that we see what we want to see. I mean, of course, there are going to be a handful of people. Yes, there are going to be a handful of people that think that they are fucking amazing, not just because they're white, but because they just think they're amazing. They just think they're amazing, even if they were black, Native American, Latino, whatever. They would just love themselves and think that they're fucking amazing. And that's great. You should. You should love yourself. You should love yourself. And you should think that you are a capable person. But there's a lot to be learned and a lot to be said about humility, being humble. It's good to have confidence, arrogance, not so much. But I don't know. People are just really looking for an excuse to get attention, I think. And then they get the attention. And then when it's not the attention they want, they're like, oh, boo, hoo. And then they're like, I don't really want all this attention. Well, yeah, you do, because you're all over Facebook, you're all over Twitter, you're all over Instagram, you're running your mouth everywhere. And then you're like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. No, you don't want to be left alone. Stop having parades. Stop having months of the year dedicated to you. Stop having awards nights like the BET Awards dedicated to you. You do not want to be left alone. You didn't get enough attention as a kid. Maybe you're not getting enough attention as an adult. And I'm sorry, but that's not everybody else's problem. Your problems and your issues, your insecurities are not other people's issues. That's for you to work out. Work it out. Work it out. Life is exhausting enough sometimes when you have your own problems. You don't need other people's problems leaking into your shit. So don't be like, well, if other people would just leave them alone. No, that's not what's happening. You're going out, running your mouth, making a big show, dressing like a fool. If I have a 10-foot high mohawk that's like 3 different colors and tattoos over my face, and then you say, no, everybody stop looking at me. Stop pointing it out. Stop looking at me and making a big deal. No, you want people to look at you. That is why you have a 10-foot mohawk with 1,000,000 colors and face piercings, because you want to cause controversy, or you want to open up a conversation, or you want people to form an opinion. And that's I tell you, when you do your podcast on your phone and people call you, it's infuriating, but I don't even know where I was. Basically, the gist is stop bitching and moaning and saying, everybody quit looking at me, all while you're dancing around as a dude with makeup on and dress and fake boobs, and then say you don't want people to look at you. Yes, you do. Don't have a mohawk and a bunch of piercings and tattoos on your face and then say you don't want people to look at you. Yes, you do. Don't wear a Let's Go Brandon t-shirt and then not expect people to comment because that's what you want. I know that when I wear mine, that's what I want, or at least I don't necessarily want people to comment, but I know in the back of my head there's certain people that aren't going to like it. There are people that are going to say something. When you do something that's out of the ordinary, people are going to notice because it's out of the ordinary. It's not normal. It's not to say that it's wrong. It's not to say that it's bad. It's not to say that you're a bad person or you're a crazy person. It's not to say that anything other than it's just not common. It's not ordinary. And that's fine. But you don't get to act like people looking at you is some horrible, evil thing. People are going to look at you. Get used to it. Or dress like a quote, quote, normal person. Have your hair straight. Or be a dude and wear quote, quote, dude clothes. And then you probably won't be getting all the attention that you're getting and then claiming you don't want. You know what I'm saying? Just a tip. If you don't want attention and you want to just kind of keep behind the scenes, keep behind the curtain, then don't have a frickin' parade. There's plenty of people out there living their lives, gay, Christian, Black, Latino, that are living their lives just fine without making a big stink over it. So, those are the things that are keeping me up. These are the things on my mind. And my puppy, the fact that I have another puppy, and she's a handful, but she's awesome, and I love her, but holy cow, she's a terror. And she's feisty, and she lets all the dogs know that she's here, and they need to get used to it. She's here. She's a bitch. Get used to it. All right. Anyway, hey, thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for coming on this journey with me. Thanks for working it out with me. I'm working out the kinks. I'm trying to learn. But I'm trying to keep my podcasts a mix of political and just about everything. I'm not going to just do politics. I'm not going to just talk about my family. I would like to talk about just anything keeping me up. And sometimes that might be my bowel movements. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to talk to you about that. But, it's many different things. So thanks for sticking with me and going on this journey with me. I appreciate it so much. I hope that you guys are getting sleep. I hope that there's not a lot on your mind keeping you up, preventing you from thinking clearly, because it's kind of a bummer when you're walking around feeling foggy and in a daze all the time, feeling like you're off balance all the time. I'm sure that's what Biden feels like, poor guy. All of his administration probably feels like they're foggy and in a daze and, what day is it? They're always foggy and in a daze and just kind of bumping into walls and, ugh. Anyway, hey, thanks for listening so much. Stick with me. Tune in next week and the week after and the week after. Just keep tuning in to the Ramblings of an Insomniac.